So many people sit there and think about a decision, like look at it, measure 12 times and cut once. I measure once and cut once. And then I try to fix the edges, right? Like I make quick decisions both ways. I don't know of all the big mistakes I made. You know why? Because I changed them so quickly and cut that, whether it's a person, whether it's a change, a process. I have no ego about going back to what I used to do. I try new things all the time and I screw up all the time, and it's okay because I'm willing to change back.
So welcome to another episode of At the Podium with Manuel Amezcua. I have a very special guest today, a friend, someone I met when I arrived in the great state of Michigan back in 2017. This one's going to be a real treat for all of you that are listening in. With us this morning, we have the president and CEO of United Wholesale Mortgage. And one of the recent things that caught my attention, a piece of recognition, and I know Matt's just stacking these up year over year, but he was named Ernst & Young's Entrepreneur of the Year. And so with us, we have our very own from Michigan, Mat Ishbia. Matt, welcome this morning.
No, so good to be here with you. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Appreciate it. So Matt, you've seen a few clips from the other guests that we've hosted. There's always a few questions I begin with. So let's do that in honor of tradition and consistency. What is your favorite color?
Favorite color is green. Michigan State, of course.
Spartan Nation.
Spartan Nation, of course.
What is your favorite afternoon snack?
I don't really have an afternoon snacks, but with my kids, I eat apples, cut up apples. That's try to be healthy. It's a good thing. If I want to eat my favorite one, it'd probably be cake and cookies, but apples is a healthy one.
Matt's up working out like 4 a.m, so I don't know that it's cake and cookies. What is your favorite childhood superhero?
It's always Superman. I think Superman was always my favorite. I liked a lot of superheroes, but Superman was my favorite. I always dreamed of being able to, can you fly? How cool would that be one day?
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And so recently, Matt, I've had a few guests on that are just very musically inclined. And so we started asking, what is your favorite band, album, or soundtrack?
Oh, that's a tough one. So I like all the top hit stuff today. If I had to go old school, I was a huge Michael Jackson fan. Still am a big Michael Jackson fan. I love Michael Jackson stuff. I had a Britney Spears phase in there, but that was more, I don't know if that was music is focused, but that was when I was a little younger. But I also love Pearl Jam too. So a little different type of music. And lately I've been listening to a little bit of country music, which is not my thing, but like I said, I kind of like a little bit of everything. But Michael Jackson, if I had to pick something, Michael Jackson was always my favorite. Seeing the best of all time, seeing how he entertained and saying everything was great.
I love it. Is there a song that you particularly enjoy when you're celebrating or just really in a great mood?
Well, for Michael Jackson stuff, I like The Man in the Mirror because it was about accountability and reflection and looking at what you can do. You can make a change. And so I always believe that I can make an impact and difference. A song that I always listen to kind of building up here was, Drake Started From the Bottom I always thought if we started where we started our company and where we're going to and how we got there. And so I listen to that a little bit, but that, I don't have any songs that really pump me up, that are different than that, but I just like listening to music. It's kind of a relaxing thing. But some of those songs I think of, and I always listen to the words of music a lot of times.
Love it. Thanks for sharing that. So if we can give a few components to today's conversation, I'd like to walk our listeners through the past, present, and the future with Mat Ishbia. And let's start on the past because you kind of just touched on it. I'm thinking of the story that I've heard, not only from you, but a lot of your biggest advocates and closest friends. I even remember I had a brief lunch with your father when I first moved to Michigan with Paul Davis, and the story of starting there in 2003. I think there were roughly a dozen employees. Fast forward 17 plus years later, 17-ish, 9,000?
Yeah. No, it's been a great
9,000?
So UWM, 12 people, weren't even ranked. Nobody knew who we were. And, I started there at the lowest paying job, taking fax stuff, fax machine, learning the business from the ground up, and kind of we built it together. And it's not Matt building it, it's my team. I got a great team of people that have helped me do this, go from 12 people to 9,000 people over the last 18 years. And and, become the number one wholesale mortgage lender company for 7 straight years now, and the number 2 overall mortgage company. So we've grown quite a bit, but we still have a long ways to go on what we're planning on doing. And it's all been built on teamwork, family, culture, coaching people, all the things that I know you subscribe to as well, the way you think about things, Manny.
Yeah. So I've heard you speak often about some of the lessons that you not only took from your family, but you also took from your time at Michigan State and playing on one of the best teams in the history of Michigan State basketball under Coach Izzo. Can you reflect a little bit on 1 or 2 of the most meaningful lessons, or the ones that most consistently come to mind as you're serving and leading one of the fastest growing companies in the country today?
Yeah. So, I learned a lot from playing basketball for Tom Izzo. 4 years playing, 1 year as a student assistant coach. Really learned from you. When you spend that much time with one of the best in the world at what he does, you're going to pick up a lot of things. Learned a lot from my father as well. And so I'll give you one from each. My father, the big thing I learned from my father was always do right by people. It was always about the people. So to build a business, you got to take care of everybody else. It's not, he used to say, I have a saying, if there's a dollar in the middle of the table, 50 cents is even. If they take 51 or 52, it's okay. If they take 53, 54, 55, it's okay. Let them get a little bit more, do more for others, and good things will happen. It's not about always getting yours. And so he always taught me to take care of people, do right by people. And we built our whole company around that, around going out of our way to help other people, whether it's, creating an atmosphere, an opportunity to grow, finding out what they care about and helping deliver it. And that ties to business too. Team member experience is one thing, but client experience, those are the 2 things that will drive anyone's business, no matter what field you're in. And so that's the thing I learned from my father about taking care of people, doing right. My father's a wonderful man, always does right by others. The other one I learned from Tom Izzo, which was, not only outwork everyone, but at the same time, be in the weeds. There's no detail too small for Tom Izzo. And so what I learned from Tom Izzo is, like, from watching film to being in the office early to staying late, nobody works harder than Tom Izzo. And I knew that if I wanted to be successful, I had to put that work ethic, that grind. There's nobody in this world that's successful without work ethic and drive. And Izzo taught me that. And at the same time, being in the weeds of your business, which means, I'm not like, oh, well, that I don't really deal with that. That's below my pay grade. No, there's nothing below my pay grade. I deal with everything. Right. From when the security officers, when you walk in our office, the security people welcome you and say hello, to how often we clean the trash out of the bathrooms. Every aspect of my business I'm aware of, and I'm in the weeds of making decisions. And so those are 2 great lessons I learned from both of those guys.
I love both lessons. And the second one reminds me about something we talk about in the firm, which is Starbucks Experience Chapter 2, Everything Matters. Oftentimes people chuckle. They'll see me bend over and pick something up as I walk through the hallway. And I think people just chuckle at the notion that probably 20 other people have walked past that item. And for me, I'm like, well, the chair's not the same height. The door's not fully closed. There's a drip on the floor, right? And so it's really powerful and inspiring to hear that even, servant leaders that are dramatically busier, dealing with a lot more responsibility, not just financially, but on the human side, still prioritize that as one of their most prized principles and philosophies.
I love it. We're on the same page thinking about that. The inches matter. The inches add up to feet, add up to miles. And people are like, oh, that's just an inch. Oh, that's a little piece of trash on the floor. No, I see something on the floor. Not only do I pick it up, and then I say, I'll reach out to my people on the United Services, which is the team, and say, why is there stuff on the floor here? Like, it's 4 a.m. Like, did they not clean last night? What is the process? I thought we did that at 1 a.m. Like, what's going on? And what are we missing? Let's be better. Let's hold them accountable. Like, every inch matters.
So I appreciate you saying, and I've heard you as you commented on your father and Tom Izzo. No surprise that those are 2 you referenced. But I've heard you give credit to so many other people as you speak on all these different networks across the country and even globally now, especially business wise. Talk to me about, when I say standing on the shoulders of giants. Talk to me about this last, 15, 17-year run you've had in business, and what were some of the common characteristics in some of the other mentors that poured into you?
Yeah, so there's so many people that have helped contribute to my success. There's no one that's successful alone. That's first thing. And then there's also no one that's successful without an extraordinary work ethic and desire to win and get better every day. And so There's so many people that have impacted my life. Not only people that you would think and you read about this. No, it's actually people that you go hand-to-hand combat every day with. People that are on your team. From people that your marketing leader to your assistant to the people that your executive team. To all people, they make an impact on your life and they help get you better. And there's nobody at this company. I got 9,000 people that I can't learn from today. I shadowed different people. I didn't understand they were doing that. Why did you do that? Why? You get better, and they all shape you. And as soon as you think, we talk about people in the NBA, it's like, oh, Steph Curry is the best NBA shooter of all time. People say, he's not like he's the best shooter and he stopped practicing. He's practicing every day to get better and continuing it. So every day I'm here. I'm a great CEO. I like to think I'm doing great, but I'm not anywhere near where I'm going to be. I'm getting better every day. And I have to learn from people and work on my craft every single day. That's how it is.
So I have like 71 questions set up and we're going to get through like 7. But so that just made me think of you remember the one time I reached out to you and I was blown away that I continued to see pictures of you having lunch with interns. And I'm like, he has like 700 interns a summer, 800, 900. I can't even remember what it's approaching 1,000. And I was like, how do you do that? Right. And so I have to believe that there's a couple things that are important to you. I have to believe that you're consistently auditing your circles, auditing your calendar, auditing who's influencing your allocation of time and your decisions. Talk to me a little bit about how do you decide how to allocate and invest your time, and who helps you for aspiring leaders, people, growing in roles of leadership in large organizations. How do you ensure that your time is properly allocated to the things that matter most in that moment, at least for that moment?
Yeah. So a couple things there. First off, time management is so key. We all get 24 hours, no matter how much money you have, no matter how smart you are. You got 24 hours. I got 24 hours. And so I've decided I'm going to outwork everyone. Which means I'm going to work more hours than you. But at the same time, I'm going to actually be more effective in my time. Structure. People are like, oh, you're self-employed. You're the CEO. You kind of come meet me for golf. Like, you understand? Like, are you crazy? Like my minutes, every minute of my day is managed. As I told you, like, I'm out of here right at 11:58 to 12 o'clock. Like I keep moving my whole schedule. So my assistant, Chelsea, she's fantastic. She makes my life easier by not only solving things for me, but at the same time, she keeps me on task, on point, because every 15-minute meeting, every 10-minute meeting matters. Now, you talk about me having lunch with interns, summer team members. Of course I do. I go down the new cafeteria, our cafeteria here, multiple times a week and just pick up my lunch. Once again, my assistant will grab my lunch. I walk in and I go sit with random people. I meet them. I find out what they do, what I can do better. I get ideas and I bring it back to my team and I improve things. That happens almost every day. I'll say 3 times a week, 3 to 4 times a week. I do that. And so, but at the same time, I make myself available. You're a CEO, you run your company. Everyone has access to me. They reach out to me. Yes. I'll have a meeting with people. And so, but it's a 10-minute meeting and it's literally starts. And then by the way, my assistant, one of them comes in after when there's 5 minutes before the meeting's ending and they interrupt, say there's 5 minutes left and then we got to go. And they get me out of there, right? Because I have to go to the next meeting and I'm never late to anything. And so structure and time management is so key to a successful business person, really a successful person.
So I've chronically suffered from internal punctuality, and our office is much smaller, as you know, and there's about 100 people on 20,000 square foot floor. And I see you, and it's so true. I've experienced that on the other side of the table as a visitor at your office. Just the system, the structure, the discipline to that 5-minute notice of you have to be somewhere else in 5 minutes. Where did you pick that up from? Like it's something that I don't think I'm the only aspiring executive struggling with that, right? Because I experience it being on the other side of the table from other people, but that commitment to being on time, where did you pick that up from? And how do you pass that gift on to the others that you're mentoring and pouring into? Yeah.
So Michigan State basketball, we have a thing called Spartan time. That means you're 15 minutes early to everything. You don't show up. If we had 4:30 a.m. lifting, I get there at 4:10, and you feel like you're making sure you're not late. Like no one shows up at 4:28 for a 4:30 a.m. lifting, right? And that's college kids. And so the point is, every minute matters. You only get 24 hours. And so I think one of the most disrespectful things to do is if I have a meeting with 10 people and it starts at 9:30 and I walk in at 9:33, that's 3 minutes times 10 people. I just wasted 30 minutes of my people's time. Disrespectful, unacceptable. We don't do it here, right? And my meetings, I run a Monday morning meeting with 70 of my leaders, Monday morning, 8:30. I walk in at 8:28, 8:29. Everyone is there around the table. No one's walking in late. Everyone's got their notes. They're ready to go. Every minute matters. If you start taking what's the difference between 8:59 and 9:01? Oh, it doesn't really matter. It means everything because it's discipline, it's structure. And you know what other things do you cut corners on? If I tell you, meet me at 9:00 and you show up at 9:02, Manny, and then I say, well, help me invest my money, help me with insurance. I'm like, yes. What other corners is he cutting? He showed up 2 minutes late. That didn't matter. What else doesn't matter to him? I asked him to do these 4 things. He's only going to do 3 of them. And so my perspective is every minute matters. And if you show that it matters and you show that discipline, you will be successful. At our company, it's known. You set expectations. We show up on time. We don't come in late. I got traffic on the way in. Leave 30 minutes earlier. You don't miss it because it's important to you. It's important to me.
As your organization has grown, how have you ensured that your direct line of leadership, the ones who have the most access to you, are also embracing, absorbing, obsessing about those disciplines and commitments? And how are they ensuring that they pass that down to the next level of leadership at an organization that, it's an ocean now.
Yeah, no. So just like, things start with the leadership, start at the top. If I take it serious, they take it serious. If I think it's not important, they think it's not important. And so you are very important as a leader of your organization to make sure you set the tone and execute across the board. So that's a big, big part of it. But at the same time, every detail. So when you meet with me, Manny, or anyone meets with me, you know this because we've met multiple times. Every meeting I have starts on time. I get a 5-minute notice. I'm ending on time and I'm getting to the next place. But on top of that, there's an agenda. Every meeting has an agenda. Yes. We allow no technology in our meetings. So if I run a meeting, you're not having your phone out in front of me. You're not having a laptop. You're going to take notes and you're going to fill it up later because we are effectively, every minute matters. And so, you have to be consistent with it. And when you set the tone, too many people are kind of like, oh, well, yeah, kind of willy-nilly about it. I'm very, very just direct on what matters. And that's how we run meetings at the whole company. And then it filters down. And then you check in. I walk into meetings all the time in my office. I have a no meeting Thursday. I walk around. I'll pop in someone's office, someone's meeting and see it's 9:32 a.m. Like, where's everyone? Why are 3 people in here? What are we? And at the same time, every meeting, are you walking away with actionable things to do? Or did I just waste 30 minutes of my time?
It's great feedback. I hope everyone in our organization heard that. It's disrespectful. And that's the most significant thing that I took away from that. And it's not that I've not heard it before. It's what we create excuses for in our lives every single day. And progress over perfection, I guess, is what I would share with folks right now. Right. But let's take that one home. Okay. I want to pivot because I heard you say earlier, you come down to the cafeteria, you have lunch, you just meet people, really get to know them, invest in creating relational equity. I know that that's who you are. I've experienced it. But ideas come up. And, I'm wondering, I feel as if watching from the outside looking in, I consistently see your organization have a vision for where the puck is going. I've been wanting to ask you about this because when you dropped this really happy bomb on the industry recently, it's like I just heard like tidal waves all across the country. Talk to me about Appraisal Direct. Tell me how is that going to transform the mortgage and lending industry and experience for consumers, and how do you continue to come up with these?
Yeah. So this is the thing. I come up with them because I talk to my clients. I'm in the weeds of my business. The way I came up with appraisal things was I was out in Arizona visiting clients. I'm a normal person. I go shop to shop, have meetings. I'm in there talking to them. And I'm like, so my questions always are, tell me one thing we're doing great at UWM and tell me one thing that could be better. And at that point, a lot of them told me, oh, well, it's not really you, but the appraisal process sucks. And it's like, well, that's part of regulatory requirements and a lot of different things that came in place. I said, well, shoot, I can make this better. And so we started crafting, how can we do this better? Save consumers money, make the process faster and easier, make my clients, mortgage brokers, happier, and so they have more consistency and so they can wow realtors. And we basically said, how do we do this? And that was where Appraisal Direct was born from. And we implemented, executed, built the technology out, built the team out, and it's going fantastic, right? And so how do you do that? How do you change? It's listen to your clients. Like, I don't come up with ideas anymore. I just hear them. I don't just discount them, because like a lot of people would say, oh, they said appraisals. I could have come back and said, hey guys, good news is like our clients love everything about us. They don't like appraisals, but that ain't our problem. That's the appraisal management companies. Well, I'm making it my problem. I'm creating the work. I'll solve it because it matters to my clients. So it matters to me.
Yeah. So talk more about that last statement. I've seen you have a consistent history of working to solve industry issues.
Yep.
I've seen you just, I'm like, it's like he's a lobbyist of the industry. It's like, he's like a hired politician. He's like the president of the mortgage industry now. Talk to me about that.
Well, think about it. Someone's got to do it, right? Someone's got to get involved. Who's leading? Who else is going to step up and actually do something to move the mortgage broker channel in a positive way, to help consumer? Like, who else is going to do it, right? And so, I hope that someone else. I hope that they change this rule. Like, no, I'm going to take it on myself and try to make change within the rules. How we can do it? Talk to the right people and execute. And so, too many people say like, oh, well, I can't change that. Control your controllables. Focus on things you can control. And I dominate those things and I focus on those things. And that's where I spend my time. And once again, rigidity. I know people think I'm very rigid and very structured of my schedule, my focus on things that matter. I do not spend my time on things I cannot control. Someone says, what's interest rates going to do? Doesn't that impact your business? I said, I can't control interest rates. I don't care. I'm going to win either way. Rates go up, rates go down. I will win. I'm focusing on what I can do to win. I can't focus on what's the Fed's policy on this and that. Like, I don't have an in on that. I can't change that. I control my controllables.
So I saw you just recently return from the AIM conference. And I have to think there was an incredible, just inspirational reception to all of the recent announcements. For the clients you serve, the independent brokers that you serve that weren't able to be there, what are one or two messages that they need to just hear, they need to be reassured of with you as their greatest advocate and person who's kind of clearing the pathway for their success? What's the message they should hear?
Well, the biggest message from that conference, and so it was awesome, 3,000 mortgage brokers, the biggest mortgage broker event since pre-crisis. It was great to see the energy and the passion, people learning, wanting to get better. But the big message I was sending out there was, hey, we're all winning right now. Rates are low. What's the future look like? How do we dominate 2026? My presentation was mortgage industry 2026. Here's what you got to do today to make sure you win then. And some of the things we talked about is like, I'm not going to relax at UWM. We're going to continue. We Appraisal Direct. We roll out the thing called the Source and the thing called Bolt, which is going to change the game. Like, if the process is going to get faster, easier, cheaper, come along with us. Don't sit there in the old school ways, because if you do that, you'll get left behind. We are going to win together as a team. And that was the thing, is there's a great community, a great family, a team atmosphere with mortgage brokers. And we're all moving forward, and we're going to win in 2026 and beyond. And we got to start doing things today to make sure we're prepared for that.
Yeah, so I consistently hear you reference about we're all in this together, winning as a team. I have a dear friend, Lee Rubin, who says team exists because there's such a great challenge or opportunity. It could not be accomplished or achieved alone. What is the next great challenge or opportunity within your industry? And do you have thoughts or ideas or comments around that?
Well, the biggest challenge is education in the market, right? Nobody I'm a mortgage guy. Nobody wants a mortgage, man. You never call and say, hey, I'm thinking about getting a mortgage today. No one wakes up, honey, let's get a mortgage. It's like, no, I want to buy the house. In order to get the house, I got to get a mortgage. Or, hey, I want to save $100 a month. In order to do that, I got to get a mortgage. Nobody wants a mortgage. So we got to make the process faster, easier, cheaper. But we have to educate consumers, because nobody wants one. So nobody really digs into it. Just like, like if I ask you, Manny, like, who's the best shoulder surgeon in Michigan? You're like, I don't want shoulder surgery. I don't know. If I need shoulder surgery, you'll find out who it is. Well, this is the thing about mortgages. Nobody wants it. The thing is, nobody understands how to do it. You see commercials, you go to your bank, you're doing it wrong. You talk to a mortgage broker, go to findamortgagebroker.com. They will find the right place for you. They are the expert to solve it for you. It's cheaper, faster, and easier. And I'm not saying every time, but it's like 99.99% time. It's almost every time. There's no reason to ever look elsewhere. And so, but we have to educate consumers because that's the process. And so being a public company now, I have a bigger stage. I'm able to educate more people, move the needle, and that's what we're focused on.
I recently heard you say in one of your interviews, we are the best tech company in the mortgage space. I have to believe you have your own innovation center. You have your own idea lab. You've got to be investing heavily into that. As I hear about all these new programs that you're releasing, sometimes multiple programs in one calendar year. I mean, no one else is doing that.
Yeah, no. So this is the thing. We do so much in technology. I got 1,200 amazing technology. These aren't vendors and contractors and people. We are building stuff from scratch, cool stuff, whether it's using AI or predictive modeling or, OCR. Like we're building cool stuff every single day because we're making the process faster, easier, cheaper. So many of my competitors say, well, gosh, that's a lot of money. If you saw how much I spend on IT, you'd be like, that's crazy. And then I'd say, what's the alternative? We're going back to faxing? Am I going to fax documents up again? Like, are you crazy? Right? Like we're moving this way. If you don't invest in technology, you'll lose in any industry, period. And if you're like, oh, well, I'm investing in technology, I'm using this vendor and that vendor. Yeah, vendors are there for a reason. Not that we don't ever use a vendor, but we build the stuff ourselves because if I want to have control of my business, I got to build it myself.
It reminds me of, which I think it's tragic that we've gone away from recognizing the significance of things that are built in our great country, right? And we went through a period of time when I was, a younger adult where, there was just a tremendous amount of pride and gratitude for things that were built in the US of A. And every time you speak on that, that's what I think about. Where do you see UWM's role in technology for the industry? And will UWM ever be influencing technology outside of the industry? Could you see that in the future?
Yeah, so it's a great question. So yeah, we want to be the leader. Back to our earlier point about changing things in the industry,
sure.
Innovating, creating, pushing the envelope forward with technology. Because if you do that, so like other people push the envelope forward on credit, doing worse loans, and I'm never doing that stuff. That's what created the crisis back in 2008. Like I'm not pushing the forward on lower credit or lend to more borrowers that don't qualify. That's not my world. My world is let's make the process faster, easier, cheaper. Let's push forward on technology. So we did that. We announced that we were looking at maybe accepting crypto as a payment. We announced that we're going to right? Like we're trying to think of like what now, will that be a big thing or not? I have no idea, but you know what? I'm going to investigate it. I'm going to dig in. Same thing with technology. Can I make it so that the process goes even faster? Like, how do I make it so that people don't have to deal with the mortgage? It's so simple and easy. And that's what we've been focusing on. And now how can that affect other businesses? I think it can, because you know what? If I'm watching this and I'm talking about something outside of mortgages, I'm thinking, gosh, am I investing? Am I spending enough time thinking about technology? Am I taking my profits and putting it back in to win in technology? Because that's how you win in 2025, 2030.
Yeah,
no one believes there'll be less technology in the future. So innovate, come up with new ideas, find out what your clients want and build it for them, and you will differentiate your business.
So I often think about the fact that a vision is only as exciting as the people within the team and within the family and within the organization, if they're willing to embrace it, absorb it, obsess about it, make it a part of their own vision for their life. I said this, I was talking to a good friend in Chicago this past weekend. As you acknowledged, I'm a diehard Bears fan. And so we flew back with a few clients and advocates of the firm for the Lions-Bears game. And, I talked about how I was so excited for the time together today and said, it's like he's built this like relentless, insatiable, unflinching army of advocates within UWM, to where from when I've walked in and met the security team and I'm like, I believe I have a meeting with Mat Ishbia, and they're like, oh, you're meeting with Mat Ishbia. Well, welcome. But that type of experience to when I have sat in the cafeteria or grabbed the Starbucks coffee. There has to be something unique, something special, something that you've obsessed about as you've built that culture and that army of advocates? What would you share with small business owners, large servant leaders of organizations around how you've done that?
So thanks for the kind words. It's a great thing. And I think this is the differentiator. Our culture and our business model tied to our culture and our people is everything. So if I'm a business owner outside of UWM, I'm thinking the secret sauce and how do I differentiate client experience, team member experience. First, I told you, listen to your clients, find out what they want and deliver it. Same thing with your team members. Find out what they care about. Find out what matters to them. But then on top of that, like, it's not just amenities. Oh, you got a Starbucks in your office. They must love it. That's lipstick on a pig if you have a pig. You got to go deeper. Deeper is this. You got to care. You got to care about people. You got to go out of your way and show that you care. And so how do you care about someone? You find out what matters to them. You find out about their husband, their wife, their kids. You find out what their goals are. Where do they want to be in 3 years? Give them opportunity to grow and be successful. What matters to people is their family, not your company, FYI. What matters to people is they want opportunity to be successful so they can advance themselves, not your company. So how do you take care of those things? And you know what they'll do is like, he cares about me. I care about him and the company. And that's what we've done here, where people know that I care and we care. And if you care about them, they'll care about you back. And it creates this environment of happiness and people feel that and our clients feel it too.
So we've, and I appreciate that. So the one thing I'm taking away is that it's okay to put lipstick on a pig. However, if 99.9% of everything you do is not investing in how to help people achieve their goals, their dreams, and the life of by design that they aspire for, then you might want to stop putting the lipstick on.
Yeah. Well, that's people think, oh, Google has a slide. You think people love it because they have a slide? Like, nobody thinks about a slide. It's so stupid. It's cool to talk about. Just like my Starbucks is cool, and my gym is cool, and my arcade, and my library, all this stuff's cool. But you know what happens? What actually matters to people is how you treat them and the opportunity and a work-life balance and telling them, hey, it's 5 o'clock on Friday. Don't your son have a football game? Get out of here an hour early. Go home and be with your family. Get out of here. They care about that stuff.
Yeah. I just always appreciate when you say that because it's just fact. It just really is fact, right? I mean, people take jobs at places, or my experience has been, is I've heard of people taking jobs or positions at places because of some novelty or this one cool thing. And then they're like, but I can't stand the person I report into. My mentor sucks. There's no structure, no predictability. And yes, I really appreciate when you say that.
Yeah, we're aligned exactly.
So Michigan, UWM, I'm thinking about this army of advocates. Eventually, Oakland County and the location you're at is going to run out of space. There's going to be nothing else that you could buy and expand into. Does UWM, do they ever have a location somewhere else in the country or globally?
No, we never will. So we have about 1.5 million, 2 million square feet now here in Metro Detroit. All here in Pontiac, one building or 2 buildings with a bridge connected, but no, I don't believe in it. I don't believe that we can be as successful if I had a location in LA and a location in Texas and a location in Florida. I'm all in here in Metro Detroit. I want to create the jobs. I want to do everything here. I don't think our company to grow more has to go from 9,000 people to 20,000 people. I think we can be the #1 overall mortgage company and serve more clients than ever, and maybe even grow our business by almost 50% to 75%. By having between 7,000 and 12,000 people. That's the kind of the sweet spot. And so I feel like we're in a great spot because remember, I'm investing in technology. So yes. Jenny at my company who can do 5 or something a day, I'm going to help her do 6. And I'm going to train her and coach her to do 7. I'm going to build technology to help her get to 8. Next thing you know, like we can do more with the same amount of people. And so we're going to grow our business, not necessarily grow our head count. The grow is, how do I impact more people? How do I give people more opportunity, pay them more, help them get expansion to their lives or learn more things and get leadership roles? That's what we're focused on, and our business will grow too.
So as the organization makes strategic decisions on the growth and the investment in either more people or more technology or more of whatever you may decide, I have to believe that the focus on the core values, the characteristics, and the skill sets of those you invite into the organization, those will even tighten up even more. The process for selecting people into an organization like UWM will become even more stringent. Talk to me a little bit about what some of those core values characteristics are today, so that, those young professionals that are looking for a career and looking for a place that they could call home for 30, 40 years, which I think is a tragedy that companies don't exist anymore that could do that for a human. I think UWM could be one of those. What are those characteristics, those core values that your organization is looking for in young professionals today?
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things. First off, I'm big on team. You got to be part of a team. You got to realize that this is greater than just one person. You have to take care of people, work well with others, team. But how do you really measure that and figure that out? The things I talk about is this. I think knowledge is a commodity these days. Experience is becoming a commodity. So I've been in 18 years. Does that mean someone that's been in the business 3 years can't beat me? Of course they can beat me, right? So I can teach you anything. I can't teach you heart. Work ethic and attitude is what we talk about at UWM. You come in with a great work ethic and attitude, positivity and grind, you will win here. You will grow. Like, we don't have any BS jobs like, oh, you got to be 5 years this and a college degree. I could care less about your degree. I care less what college you went to. I care less about any of that. I care about your work ethic, your attitude, your heart, your drive to be great. And so I can teach you finance, Manny. I can teach you sales. I can teach you marketing if you care and you want to be great. And so we're looking for people that have a heart, that have work ethic and attitude. No one's successful in this world without a great work ethic. And you have to have a positive attitude, because things aren't going to always go straight shot up. You have to have positivity, find the right things, find the good things in everything that happens. And so work ethic and attitude is what we focus on. And you have to be able to be a team player as well.
When people are looking to reach out to an organization like UWM, where do they go to find more information about the company, the organization, and opportunities?
Yeah, no, just go to our website. You can go to UWM Life on social media or UWMcareers.com. I mean, there's plenty of places, and you probably know someone that works here. That's how I think about it. Is 65% of our people that get hired in are referred by someone else because they know someone and they understand that they'll meet the culture. And so we're definitely looking to grow and find great people to join the family.
Well, and I think, let's not speed past that comment, right? 2/3, I heard you just say 2/3 of the humans joining your organization are joining due to a favorable nomination from someone inside. And folks, that's what I'm referencing when I think about this like unflinching, obsessive army of advocates that Matt and his team, his leadership team. I think of great people like Laura Lawson that I've had the privilege to get to know a little bit over time. Just the impact they're making on the culture, and how the culture, it just continues to churn out incredible talent, incredible progress for the organization. I've always been curious how people in your stratosphere might adjust the way they begin to measure their success in business alone. Talk to me about, 10 years ago, what was Matt thinking would be success?
Yeah,
compared to today?
Yeah, so it evolves, right? So like what you do is, I'm very big on goal setting, measurable goals, and I focus on them and I go at it, right? But the goals 10 years ago, if people told me 10 years ago I'd be here, I would have said there's no chance, right? 10 years ago, we just, in 2011, we did $1 billion of mortgages. We're going to do 230 billion this year, right? So it's like, it's not even, and that's 10 years ago. And and to be the number one overall wholesale lender, we had to do 13 billion in 2015. That's 6 years ago. Once again, we're going to do 230 billion. And so it's light years away. Here's what I found is you have to have big goals, like big thoughts and big goals. And then you're going to climb a mountain. And you're going to look up and say, gosh, there's another mountain there. And you're going to keep going. And so my perspective is this, from a business perspective, I never dreamed of where I would be today. I didn't dream big enough. I tell people, a lot of people say you can do anything, dream bigger, and then focus on the weeds. Don't just have a big dream and then just say, I hope it happens. Like, you got to say win. What's important now? I got to start doing it right now. What do I got to do to be great today? How do I be the best? Like, I want to be the best podcast guest you've ever had. Like, I want to be the best. And then we'll go have the best lunch with some team members. I'm gonna have the best. Like, I want to be great every day. And so you have to be, so you have big goals, long-term, but you got to stay in the, you got to be in the weeds, lay a brick today and dominate your day. And if you dominate your day, dominate your hour, dominate your meeting, and then you do it every single day, you will get to those big goals. So big vision, but be in the weeds every single day and dominate every aspect of your day.
I want to make sure that people didn't miss the acronym for WIN. What's important now? And gosh, I mean, how often do we get lost in the white noise and nonsense of the day from the things that actually really mattered and were significant? I have to believe, as you continue to think about success in the future, there might be some important influencers in your life today, coaches, mentors, etc. Are you still working with coaches today? I know you did at some point in your career. Coaches, mentors, talk to me about your philosophy for finding the right people to help you get to the next level of what you know is possible in your professional life.
Yeah. So here's how I think about it today. You know, I have so many people here challenging me. I want them to challenge me. I advocate for them to challenge me, push me to get better, because the people that are closest to you have the most likely chance to make a big impact on you. Having a coach that you talk to once every 30 minutes, once a month, like, yeah, you get some good stuff out of it, but how do you get better by the people around you? We do have leadership coaches at our company. Actually, one of my old teammates, Mateen Cleese, is one of my coaches. Yeah. He pushes me, he challenges me, tells me when I'm full of it. And I love that. I love when people can challenge you. You have to have an open architecture in the respect of people can challenge you and push you until you're full of it. And that's how you get better. Because if you just kind of just go through the day and just keep going through, like, you're not going to end up getting better. You're just going to keep existing. And then someone hungry like I was, or like I am, or like you are, will run right by you. And so I'm real big on pushing people to get better around me and asking them to push me and using that kind of as a team aspect. And of course, like I said, we have coaches here, leadership coaches, but I want to make sure that everyone is my coach. My marketing people are my coach. My assistant is my coach. My executives are my coach. Like, everyone's pushing me to get better.
So we've had a good amount of dialogue around a lot of achievements, a lot of wins, micro wins, culture wins, business wins. Talk to me about a time when it wasn't perfect, it didn't go well, and how did you know it was time to move on from an idea, an investment, or a human?
Yeah, so that's a great point and great question. This is what I'll say to people. Is people say, what's your biggest failure? I'm like, gosh, I have so many failures. So many times I've screwed up. One of my strengths, though, is this, and this is something that people can take. So many people sit there and think about a decision, like, look at it, measure 12 times and cut once. I measure once and cut once. And then I try to fix the edges, right? Like, I make quick decisions both ways. I don't know of all the big mistakes I made. You know why? Because I changed them so quickly and cut that, whether it's a person, whether it's a change, a process. I have no ego about going back to what I used to do. I try new things all the time, and I screw up all the time, and it's okay because I'm willing to change back. And so trying things and challenging yourself and pushing forward is so important to be successful, and being okay to fail, and then just changing back. And so I think that's the biggest thing, is that people kind of like, oh, well, I kind of went with it, I got to stick with what I went with. Like, no, you don't. Change back. It's a better way. Don't have an ego. Don't feel bad that you made a mistake. Like, I make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. When you really make a mistake is when you stick with it too long.
Yeah, I super appreciate you saying that. And again, I think as I listen to your comments, I think about the fact that you don't allow your ego to get in the way of adjustment. And I think that's extremely powerful. And I've seen it, just observe. Well, I've not seen it observing you, but I've seen it observing great leaders, and the willingness to be vulnerable, take ownership, and pivot is just a powerful gift. When you think of the next 10 years for UWM, tell us where the vision is. What are you saying on the inside that you're willing to share on the outside about what the people will experience, will enjoy, will be rewarded with when they stay along for the ride?
Yeah. So the way I think about it, for the next 10 years, we are going to grow and succeed at a different level than we are today. We've been very successful. I'm very proud of where we're at, beyond what my wildest dreams were. However, we are not going to stop. We are not going to slow down. The next 10 years at UWM is going to be all about growing the independent mortgage broker channel because it's better for consumers and better for UWM and better for my clients. And so we're focusing here on helping others. It's cool. My job is really cool. Like I got 9,000 awesome people. I can help make an impact on them. We close 60, 70,000 loans a month. We're helping people buy a house of their dreams. And then on top of that, we got 30, 40,000 loan officers that we're helping them build their relationship with realtors, build their relationship with consumers, helping them win. And so we're going to continue to educate consumers, continue to help those broker shops, which are independent entrepreneurs. They're just small businesses throughout America, help them win, help them grow because they're best. And when they grow and consumers win, we grow and succeed. And that's what we all see here at UWM is the opportunity is to exponentially grow. Exponentially. It might not be exponentially as in people, as I told you earlier, but it'll be exponentially growth in opportunity and at the same time, impact. Exponential growth and impact in America is what we're focused on.
What's left on the bucket list?
Well, there's a lot of things on the bucket list. There's a lot of goals. Right now, we're the number 2 overall mortgage lender in the country, number 1 in wholesale. But I don't have a goal anywhere in my office, anywhere to be the number 2 of anything in life. So we're going to be the number 1 overall mortgage company. That's not even a question. It's just a matter of when, not if. We will do that. And we're working with brokers to help them grow. And when they grow, we grow at UWM. But the bigger thing is helping the broker channel grow. Because when I get the broker channel, instead of 20% of the market to be 33%, when they grow, we help consumers. And when consumers win and brokers win and UWM wins, like that's more important than being number 1. I'd rather be number 37 in the country and do the right thing by consumers and right thing by brokers than being number 1. But we are going to do that. And we're going to continue to make an impact on consumers, team members, and our clients.
So I want to end on a personal note. I consistently see, these wonderful moments with your children. And I think that there has to be just some crazy inspiration that comes from watching them grow. And you and I, we talk about our children often when we're together. Are they coming into the industry?
I want them to be happy. So I love coaching their sports, being involved with them. But yes, I talk to them like, what a dream would it be for my kids who I love so much to come work here and be a part of it and learn from the bottom and grow and just be in the minutia and be in the weeds with me. I would love, love, love it. I don't know if they will. All I care about is that they're happy. I don't care if they want to go do something 180 from what I do. As long as they're happy and as long as I have a great relationship with them, life's going to be great. I'm excited about it.
Well, and my experience has mostly been with Ben, right? From Liverpool soccer to flag football to seeing him, at the carnivals and the festivals that you host. And I'm like, he's a mini ambassador, that's for sure, of the brand and of all the greatness that's been created by you, your family, and your entire leadership team. Look, it goes without saying, it's literally been one of the most mind-blowing stories that I've been privileged to experience somewhat closer than most people might. And I can't tell you how much we've taken from that in our time in Michigan. Super thankful for the relationship, for folks like Laura Lawson and Mateen Cleaves, Justin White, some of the greatest people at your organization. You are absolutely correct that Chelsea is a coach and she communicates clearly and professionally. And what, I would expect nothing less from the people that are closest to you and around you. So thank you for your time this morning. Matt, if there was one last thing that you'd want to just share with folks that are listening today about UWM, what would you want to make sure that they take away?
Well, I think about UWM, I could talk about brokers and how it's better, but I think the thing I would share with anyone, business people, because you're a winner. Like what you've done in Michigan in your short time here has been amazing, right? You're a winner, you're a leader, you're building something special. People want to be around you. I really think what you've done has been fantastic. And I look up to you and how you're doing things. And what I would say is this, you do this all the time and I respect you. People focus on money. I don't focus on it. You don't focus on it. People focus on money. Oh, I got to get return on it. The biggest thing I tell any business person is stop trying to win by making money. Just go win. Go take care of the clients. Take care of your team members. Take care of your competitors. Be good to everybody and good things happen and you will win. I focus on winning every day. I focus on dominating my day. And as long as I'm getting better and I'm helping people do the right things, money follows success. It's not the other way around. And that's the big message I talk about here all the time is go be great. Go be the leader and you'll become the leader. Go win, you'll make the money. Money follows. Stop focusing on it. I think you've done a great job of building your business, not focus on only sale. You're focused on relationship, building something special, making an impact, and winning follows. Money will follow the winning.
Folks, probably my favorite part of today's 55 minutes was when he gave us the analogy of $1 on the table and who gets what amount. And look, I will tell you, it reminded me of our dear friend, RJ King, who I think is an intellectual giant. And he talks about the secret to life and happiness is adding value to others. And when Matt gave us the analogy today of, hey, 50, 51, 52, 53, 55 cents, going the other way to the person I care about across the table, and I'll take the lesser amount, I know that in time I'll continue to win and be able to add value. That was powerful. It's a reminder that the math is the math, but the math is not always the secret. And I look forward to hopefully many more years of friendship and being around your great organization. I wish you and your entire team and your family and those beautiful little children of yours nothing but success and happiness in life. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate you having me on. Have a great day. Thank you.